Hello there folks, it's Sleepless Night here. Merry Christmas, and if you're watching this and Christmas is well and truly gone by, what have you been playing at, quite frankly? Because it hasn't been Elite Dangerous, has it? Otherwise you would have checked out these videos. Come on, get with the program. This is the game, this is a place where it's all going to happen. You know, read up on the game if you don't know that much about it. Plenty of expansions planned in the future. If you want to know what they are, you can visit elitedangerous.com, or I wrote a blog post on the subject when I first heard about the game quite a while ago. I'll put a link in the description to that. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to make a quick basic training video. It's not going to be quick, obviously, because it's a training video and there's an awful lot to cover here, but I'll try and make it quicker than I did. This is the second time I've tried making this video. The first time it just went on forever because, you know, no plan. And, you know, if you've got no plan, you've got no future. And what do you want to be a voiceover artist for? And anyone can be a writer. Stupid boy. Go and watch all those warm, fun things that fathers say to you. oh shit. Any children out there, by the way? Any kids watching this? I don't want to get any emails or anything. You might want to turn off. I don't want to get any emails or anything like that from sort of angry mothers or anything saying, "Excuse me, sir, my child was watching your video last week and tells me that you used it as a forum to exercise your inner demons." So, no. Let's go into options, because I've had a few questions about this. So this is where we're going to start. Controls. Oh, God. Presumably you got a computer that's a bit quicker than me. So you got some presets up here. Boom, 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 boom. I have the Thrustmaster T-Flight HOTAS joystick, but I don't use the initial setup because I've customized some things for myself. And I'll, as we go through this, I'll probably explain a little bit about why. So what you do if you want to map your own keys to this, you go into this here, and then you just click on whichever one you want to change, right? So now you want to thrust left, so you press the key that you want to use for thrust left. Okay, and that's it. So, well, let me just change it. If I change it, you can see how it works. So you just click on it, and it'll tell you to press whichever key you want to map. There you go. Thrust left, thrust right. Done. Sorted. Easy as that. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So, resume. That's what we want to do. So we'll start over here on this side. So we'll go over here. So here you've got your navigation panel. And in your navigation panel, you've got your location there. Look, Somerset Station. Carronay System. Destination Somerset Station, because that's the destination is because that's the last thing that I had locked in. And then over in the panel here, you've got Somerset Station, which is where we are. Resource extraction sites. These are all outside, of course. These are all the things that are within your system, or the system that you're in at the moment. And there's another station there. Culpeper Dock. And here, you go down to the bottom, you get the different systems. So here you got 2,493 light seconds, which is quite a distance. But then you go into light years here, so you're going to need to make a hyperspace jump to jump to any of those. These are other star systems, and the ones in red here, oops, at the bottom, see that? Excess mass. So all that means is that you can't travel to that system with the jump range that you currently have. So if we go up to Galaxy Map, so here's the Galaxy Map. Now, I have been, if you go, this is just basic info, anything that you hover over, it'll just give you basic info. If you go into the options, it's fairly self-explanatory, you know. I don't need to tell you all about that. Now then here, so this is what I have it on map, where you can have it set on that, which I have it set on map because it shows you the alliances, whatever factions are controlling these areas, for the most part. Now, what I don't usually use, but I do know people that use it, can be quite handy, is this here, trade routes. So you turn on the trade routes. Well, we turn on the trade routes. I can't, if I put show all, there we go. So now you can see these lovely little colourful lines here. I don't use this because I don't find it all that handy, to be perfectly honest. But you know, it shows you what's being traded where, and you know, if you want to highlight whatever or turn it off, you know, turn them all off, and then you can just sort of highlight one at a time. Oh, nobody's trading metals or minerals or kit. Oh dear, this is not the system to come to with any of that stuff apparently. Consumer items. Oh my goodness. Okay, so clearly some issues there with the trade route thing, but maybe that's just because I don't use it very often. So if you go to navigation, so here's where I'm heading. You won't see me get here today, but I'm heading towards Founders World. Why? Because I'm a Kickstarter backer and a beta backer, so I can. So, you know, and all that. I can go there, and it's I'm now 32.5 light years away. So, you know, I'm on my way, but I stop. Every now and again, I'll stop in a system that has good bounties, or, you know, I'll stop for a while to explore systems and things like that. You know, most of this stuff in here I'm sure you can pretty much find out on your own. Anyway, we can't go there. We go back to navigation. So if you press this, it'll take you back to where you were before. Let's turn that off, because that drives me insane. I don't want to see the trade routes. No, thanks. Oops. So we're going to go here today. And the reason we're going to go here is that I happen to know that here, if you go over here on these tabs, you see this one locks that as your next jump target. Okay, so when I go outside on my nav compass, that'll be highlighted. If you want to plot, let's say you want to plot a course to this system, you can do this, bing. Okay, or let's say that you want to plot a course to this system. Now that is too far away, so you can't. Route is unavailable. Doesn't mean that I can't get there eventually, although it is over 121 light years away. Doesn't mean I can't get there, just means that it's too far for the route plotter to work. So we'll go back to where we were. And as I said, today we're going here. So we're going there because I happen to know that the Empire, if we go to the info, look, we go to the system map, I happen to know, although, see that? Allegiance, it's independent, no problems. Federation, independent, Federation allegiance, that's an independent station, that's a Federation station. You know, we're in space that's largely controlled by the Federation, deep in space that's largely controlled by the Federation. But as we get closer towards Imperial territory, there are the odd one, like this one here, that is controlled by the Empire. So that station is Imperial, and that interests me because the Empire owe me a lot of money. So now that we've been in there, we can go into the next tab and I'll explain why the Empire owe me a lot of money, which is here. So they owe me a lot of money because they owe me almost 76,000 credits in bounty. The Alliance, as you can see there, owe me almost 22,000 credits in bounty, but I've been nowhere near an Alliance station or system yet. Now, you can't necessarily do this when you start off. The reason that I can do it is that I have a kill warrant scanner. Now, so I've been out bounty hunting and I can collect the bounties, all bounties that are available on the ships that I've killed, as long as I scan them first. Now, I'm not going to go into any more detail about that now. I'm going to make another video about bounty hunting and the kill warrant scanner and how that all works, much shorter than these videos, so I'll make another video this week, sometime in the next week, that I will post up here, a nice quick one, certainly compared to this. But the transactions tab not only has these bounties in it, it would also have in there any jobs that you'd picked up. So if we go into Starport Services and we go to the bulletin board, once it ever works, card collectors. So here you go now, look, there you go. Again, that's a very, very high bounty, 146,000 credits bounty, almost 147,000. But at the early stage, if you need to watch these training videos, trust me, you can't do that job. I probably can't do that job, so let's leave that. But let's LHS 1992, no military plans, we don't want that. To iCarinair. Now, see, this job is an in-system job. So that just wants me to go to Culpeper Dock, and it wants me to take some cargo, some coffee, that's it, very simple. And for that I get 2,968 credits. And I don't even have to jump to another star system. Easy. These little things here are normally courier jobs which don't require any cargo space. See this symbol here? Doesn't require any cargo space at all, but they don't pay very well most of the time. So I've got to go to a different star system, and it'll cost me more than 571 credits to get there, so that's pointless. But sometimes they're handy to pick those up at the same time as you happen to be going to that system anyway, maybe. You know, don't turn down 571 credits, I guess. It's not a lot, but... these, with the arrows going both ways, these are basically go and fetch missions. What they're saying is, we need this stuff, we need some of this stuff, or some coffee, or some tea, or some liquor, or something like that, alright? And if you can source it to us in the time given, we'll pay you, what, just short of 5,000 credits. So they want HE suits, they want 7 of them, and I've got 5 hours and 25 minutes, real time, that always is, of course, to get them. These generally tend to be illegal, but they're sort of, you know, you hop in, you pick up a black box or military plans, and they usually take some finding, and it's, you know, it's illegal activities. You've got to watch out for the authorities, but they pay a lot more, so they're worth it. So anyway, if you accept one of these will if you accept one of these, they'll see, look at that, altruism missions. Now, altruism missions don't pay anything. All you get is a reputation gain with the faction that gives you the mission. But if you accept one of these missions, it will then appear over here in your transaction tab, above where these bounties are at the moment. So that's the other thing that goes in there. And you go in, you click on, you know, you can't click on them when it's bounties. Click, 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 nothing happens. But when there are transactions in their jobs, you can always click on that. The contacts, these are the contacts that are in the local area at the moment, so within your scanner range. Frameshift Drive Wake, Federal Security Service, Viper, Type 6 Transporter, so on. Sub-targets, there are no sub-targets highlighted. That's when you if you've locked onto like an Anaconda or something like that, and you can highlight the sub-targets and stuff like that, and target his engines or his life support systems or something. Cargo scanner, I don't have a cargo scanner, so that's not applicable here. So then over here, oops, let's go out of that for a moment. Whoop. Into Starport Services, sorry. So this is the main section here, so you would just come in and refuel. You would be in this center section here, and just click on them. Beep, refuel, repair all, reload. Okay, munitions, fairly self-explanatory, that's ammunition. Repairs, I don't need any repairs done. Well, I could maybe touch up the paintwork a little, but who wants to? And the bulletin board, which is where I've just shown you, you know, where all the jobs are. Now, your contacts, this is where you would collect bounties from. So, like, if I had any pending bounties that were owed by the faction here is Labour of iCarinair, the Labour faction of iCarinair. So, if they've issued any bounties, so if I killed anyone in this area that had a bounty on his head that they'd put out, this is where that would appear. And I'll show you that at the Imperial Station in a bit. Black market. Now, if you manage to pick up something out there, stolen goods, and you want to make a run, like a smuggler's run, if you want to see one of those done, there are several ways in which to do that. If you want to see one of those, I'll put a link to one of my videos where I did that before. Or you can go and watch any of Isonona's videos if you follow the Elite Dangerous newsletters and things, or you watch any other Elite Dangerous. He's much better at that sort of thing than most of us. And Pilots Federation, this is where you would pay off any fines or bounties that are on you. So any bounties you have incurred as a result of shooting cops or whatever, I don't know. Whatever you get up to in your spare time, it's none of my business. So now, Universal Cartographics at the bottom. This is where you would sell your exploration data, right? So we click on that. And we go into Universal Cartographics. Now, this I have found to be a relatively profitable way to get started. Because trade, you know, it's a bit hit and miss. And if all you've got is a sidewinder, you haven't really got a lot of space to put stuff. So, you know, even if you make a lot of money, it's not going to be a great deal. Being a trader, in my experience, is only really very profitable once you get up to the really, really big ships. The Type 6 and Type 7 transports and the Anacondas and the Pythons and stuff like that. I'm in a Cobra. I have about 20 cargo canisters now, but I think it comes with 18. But as you can see, I mean, the cruises sector here, these are just two sectors I went through on the way to this station. And I just scanned, and the thing is, I don't have any special exploration equipment. This is just the basic equipment that your sidewinder comes with this. All you need is a basic discovery scanner to get this far. Now, as you get further along and you outfit your ship with better equipment, better scanners and so on, then you'll be able to do detailed surface scans. You'll be able to pick up what's in a system a lot more quickly and a lot more easily from one location. But all exploration I'll cover in another video. Hopefully, once again, I'll try and put that on in the next week, hopefully before the new year, but certainly in the next week or two at the latest. It'll be a nice quick video as well, a bit like the bounty hunting one. So I'm going to put some quick, more in-detailed videos on. And but there you go. So this is just stuff that I scanned on the way over here, and you know. But now the thing is that in this version, you have to get. You can see there it says you have to travel 20 plus light years from the source. So from the place where you scanned, you have to travel over 20 light years before anyone will buy it. So the information is useless to people here because it's just the next system over. You know, it's like you know, you live on a street. Information on what the house next door looks like is no use to you because all you've got to do is look out your window. All right, that's a little bit of an exaggeration. A bad analogy, perhaps. Poor analogy. Alert. So, let's go to the commodities market. Now, here in the commodities market, right, you see all these things, and here is what you can buy the stuff at, and here is what the galactic average is. So this is a good rough guide. Again, you know, I may do a trading video at some point, but I'm sure you'll have figured all this out by the time I get around to doing a trading video. But here is what the galactic average is. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that everyone else is going to pay 259 credits, obviously. I mean, this is an agriculture. So this is an agricultural economy. So what you want to get here, foodstuffs, are usually going to sell quite well. If you buy foodstuffs from here, they'll be fairly cheap. So usually foodstuffs will be below the galactic average. Quite a way below. Look, if you see coffee here is quite cheap. Tea likewise, you know, and you can make a couple of 100 credits per ton on that. If you go to, say, virtually any other system that's not agriculture, actually will buy this. So going from an agricultural system to somewhere else, it's a little bit easier to figure out what to trade. Other stuff is a little more complicated because it depends who you're selling to. But if you go from an agricultural economy, almost any food stuff that they produce will sell well at almost any other kind of system. So that's nice and easy. Now, occasionally, you'll get one of these that's highlighted in a different colour. Okay? Now, they don't have this here. Okay? Because it's a rare commodity. But if you look over here, where it says cargo, what that means is that I have it. So they don't sell Indy bourbon. The reason they don't sell it is because it comes from Epsilon Indy, which is about 40 light years from here, and it's a rare commodity that I picked up there. Now, I picked it up. If you look there, you can see over on the info panel on the right, it says I bought it for 1,288 credits per item, right? And I bought it for 1,288 credits per item. And here it sells, or they'll buy it at 1301. Well, that's useless. That's terrible. Now here you can see it says the galactic average is 8806. Now, the great thing about rare commodities is that you can make a really big profit. The downside is you usually have to carry it holding up room in your cargo hold for a very long time because they are worth more. As it says there, look, rare goods increase in value the farther you travel from their point of purchase. So to get up to this sort of level here, 8806, I'm probably going to have to travel a couple of 100 light years at least, I would guess. So I have that in my cargo hold. It's unusual to find these rare commodities, but as I say, the downside of a lot of these things is you've got to carry them quite a distance before you'll make any real money. So let's leave that. And just before we head out, I'll go into outfitting. So here, this is my ship. Okay, so it's a Cobra. It's not terribly different, you know, from when I'm showing you. For the purposes of showing you around, it's not terribly different than, you know, your sidewinder. No big deal really. This is obviously not the standard color that it comes in, I think, is a little bit more like that. Not quite, I don't think, maybe, but more or less. So that's pretty much the standard color it comes in. You know, I've got several paint jobs, but this is the one that I have on. Decals, you can apply decals if you wish. I don't at the moment. We were promised a day one. Oh, I keep doing this. I always go out of outfitting. This is what I always do. We were promised a day one decal. Whether that's materialised or not yet, I don't know. But so here, you know, you can outfit your ship. So if we go into multi-cannons, you go buy and equip, right? You can see all the different things there, and you can click on them and compare, for example, to what you've got there. It's a good way to compare. Now you'll notice here that I have two multi-cannons on the top, and on the bottom, burst lasers. Now it's always a good idea, where possible, to get a combination of, if you can, get a combination of kinetic weapons, like you know, projectile weapons, and energy weapons, because energy weapons will cut through shields very, very well, but they're pretty useless against the hull of it. Once the shields are down, your energy weapons aren't much good. Obviously they will do damage, but what you want to do a lot more damage once the shields are down are projectile weapons like these. So a combination of energy weapons and projectile weapons is always good. Projectile weapons are pretty useless against shields, but once the shields are down, they rip through a hull like nobody's business. So it's really, really always good to have a combination of the two. The other thing, you know, they all have their drawbacks. Projectile weapons don't heat up as easily, so they'll keep firing after, you know, your energy weapons have given up because they've overheated. And so your projectile weapons will keep firing. Unfortunately, of course, they have to be reloaded. You have to top them up with ammo every time you stop. Whereas your energy weapons will never run out, but they do overheat very, very fast. I have two utility mounts on this ship. So on mine, I have a point defense turret, which is my personal preference for defending against missiles and mines and stuff like that. This point defense turret will automatically shoot those down. But again, unlike the electronic countermeasure device, which you can also buy, which they've probably got here. Have they got an ECM? Nope, they haven't. But they do have a heatsink launcher and a chaff launcher. Heatsink launcher is really good. Your ship heats up, and heatsink launcher, all your heat is fueled into these little capsules, the little heat sinks, and you can fire them off into space to rapidly cool your ship for a short period of time. And it has a double function in that you can fire them to act as decoys for heat-seeking missiles. The problem is, as you can see there, the maximum ammo is 3, so they're not great. Chaff launcher, I don't really like it, but one of the good things about a chaff launcher is it can cause automated tracking to lose its track. So anyone who have gimbaled weapons, or you know, not just missiles, but gimbaled weapons and turret weapons and stuff like that, they can cause those to lose their track on you. So they will lose track of you for a short period of time. That's a good thing about those. Kill warrant scanner I have on board. I'll talk more about that in the bounty hunting video. Cargo scanner, it's fairly self-explanatory. You can detect the cargo. You know, if you're into pirating, you'll need one of those. Frame shift wake scanner. Now this will come into the bounty hunting video as well. I'll talk a little bit more about that. If you're a bounty hunter, what you really want is you want a kill warrant scanner and a frame shift wake scanner at the very least. You know, if you really want to do it properly, that's what you want. But you will also need something to defend yourself. Make no mistake about that. The frame shift wake scanner allows you to scan the wake that is left behind when anyone goes into supercruise or into hyperspace, and from that to follow them. If you get into fights, you do a bit of bounty hunting, especially the paid jobs like you saw there that are offering really high bounties. Quite often you'll struggle to fight these people, but once you get to a certain skill level and you hunt someone down, you know, once they realise they're losing, quite often, and it does happen quite often, trust me, they'll just disappear. They'll decide to run for it and they'll disappear. Now, if that's someone that it's taken you a week to track down, that's going to be upsetting, because before you get a chance to kill them, they'll just go boom, and off they go to another system or another part of the system that you're in or whatever. You have a frame shift wake scanner, you have the chance for a short period of time to scan the wake left behind by their engines and follow them to wherever they're going. Because if you don't have a frame shift wake scanner, you've got no idea where they've gone. Anyway, that's enough about that. Internal devices. Now, wherever there is a blue cross here, by the way, that means that they have one of these in stock at this station. If you click on one that doesn't, like that, there you go, you get that, see? So, don't underestimate, don't overlook these internal things, right? The power plant, very, very important. You see over to the right there, it says that my available power is 10.40 megawatts. Well, I think when I started, the power plant that I had to start with was about 8. And I think you'll discover quite quickly, as you start putting weapons on your ship and re-equipping it and putting different things on, you'll discover quite quickly indeed that you'll run out of power unless you upgrade your power plant. Likewise, the frame shift drive, you'll discover fairly early on that you can't jump very far, but all is not lost. They are very expensive. They can get very expensive, but you can, for relatively cheap, look, if you look at some of these, you can upgrade your frame shift drive to allow you to jump further. Of course, the downside of that is it'll probably weigh more, and it will probably take more power, as you could probably see there, actually. Look down at the bottom. If you look across at my thing there, it says that that'll take 10.14 megawatts once deployed. So I'm riding near the limit. I'll have to upgrade my power plant quite soon. Now, the basic discovery scanner, I'll talk more about this in the exploration video, but the basic discovery scanner, and the discovery scanner there is, you know, that's the one that you get to start with, and you can explore with it. It's just the other stuff, which is very expensive, makes it easier, like a detailed surface scanner that you can get, and an advanced discovery scanner which enables you to discover what's in a star system without having to chase around it and guess what's here, there and all over the place. But you can also get a detailed surface scanner which allows you to do detailed surfaces of stars and planets and things like that. And the better your equipment, the more detailed your scans, the more they will pay for it at Unicar. So, having looked through, here's the shipyard. I'll show you, this is the ships that they have for sale at this station. Okay, and then if we go over here, you can see your other ships, because you can have multiple ship ownership, of course. And here, 135 light years from my present position is my other ship, the Sidewinder. Okay, so that's that. Right, so that's an awful lot of the basics in here. We'll just go across just very quickly. Oh, for God's sake. No. Here we go. We'll just go across to this table here so that you can see here. Very, very simple in this window. The status window. You can see my commander name there, Sleepless Night. My combat rank, which is novice. It's only 2 up from the bottom, so I haven't, had a chance to play much. Trade rank, mostly penniless. Explorer rank, mostly aimless. Both of those only 1 rank up from the bottom, despite the fact that if you look over here, profits from exploration. My current profits from exploration have been about 75,913 credits. Anyway, that's enough now. We're going to go outside, so I'm going to split this into 2 halves. So that's it for this. Now I'm going to go outside. We're going to launch, and then I'm going to make the rest of the video in another half. So I'll post another video, and that'll be about the same length, and we'll go outside and see what we can see. So come back for that. See you later. Bye now.